Hello.
Hello.
Punctual as ever. It's like you're a performer.
I do pay attention to my 5-minute call.
Without a doubt. Thank you so much, Bert, for doing this. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely.
We're on at 4, so I'm driving to Disney right after this. So you are my lifesaver. Thumbs up, you know that we're recording. Okay, wonderful. Bert, give me your first and last. Oh, here, we'll start it this way. Give me your first and last name for me.
Sure. Bert Rodriguez.
And spell it for me.
B-E-R-T, and the last name is R-O-D-R-I-G-U-E-Z.
And Bert, tell me, what show do you work on at Disney?
My primary show at Disney is Finding Nemo the Musical.
And what character do you play on that show?
I played Crush and Marlin. Those are the two. I was the original Crush in Finding Nemo the Musical when the show opened in 2006, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. So you have been with Disney, I guess nearly 15 years now, 14 years.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. Okay. So take me through what happened this week, Bert.
This week was a whirlwind. We had known for quite some time that when all of the non-union layoffs were complete, then the union layoffs were to begin. And we've seen some of the other unions, like the STCUs, already be going through the process. So we had a little bit of an idea of what to expect, but of course you don't know anything, and all of this sort of happens behind closed doors. Those of us, we work under a contract negotiated by our union, by Actors Equity Association. So they had sent us a brief email earlier saying that we would have a meeting on Friday to discuss what was coming up. So most of us had an idea in our head that Friday was going to be the day, or somewhere after that. And then poof, around 6 o'clock, between like 6 and 8 o'clock, everybody started receiving these emails and talking to each other and just trying to figure out what was going on. The conclusion being that, just live entertainment at Walt Disney World as we know it was going to be gone.
And so you get this email, and what was that like for you?
It's gutting. It's really gutting, and it's so hard to explain. Even just a little bit talking to you, I get choked up. It's not just what we do as performers and actors and singers and dancers at Walt Disney World Entertainment really is magical. And the pride that goes into what we do, the pouring of love that goes into every performance is really, really and truly special. For me, there is nothing that replicates the feeling of looking out into the audience and seeing a father pull his son closer to him out of seeing something that moved him and that's special and that they'll carry with them for the rest of their lives. And receiving that email so unceremoniously, it just sucked the life out of me. And I think that I don't think that there's a single person who received that email that would describe it any different. It would be pretty much the same for everybody.
You're making me cry over here. What's going on? What's going on with your tears?
Say that again?
I said, you're making me cry, but tell me what's going on with your tears? Like, what are you feeling right now?
I'm just feeling so, it feels weird to say blindsided, but I knew it was coming, and yet there's a difference between knowing it's going to happen and then actually receiving the news. The idea that something that I've devoted 14 years of my life to, the possibility of that never happening again, the fact that I may have performed my last performance of Finding Nemo the Musical and not known and not had the opportunity to catalog that and remember and say, please remember this because it's your last time. It's so difficult to describe how that feels. I can't put it into words, which is why I think my emotions are taking over.
And how have you processed this? You got the emails last night from 6 to 8? Okay.
Yes.
How have you been processing this since then?
Well, there's a lot to be said for the resilience of the people in the entertainment community and the cast members in entertainment at Walt Disney World, because while it could be just an outpouring of sadness and anger and every emotion in between, what I think I've overwhelmingly seen is people expressing gratitude for the opportunity to have had this time to perform. And I think that that's been really helpful to, I said there's no solace in the shared pain, but there is solace in the shared remembrance of all of the amazing things that we've accomplished and all of the wonderful opportunities we've had to touch lives during the time that we had at Walt Disney World.
And I just thought I would let you know, my photographer, since I'm working late from home trying to get cast members, my photographer is at Crosswords now trying to talk to people who just came from Disney or are going to Disney. And he just spoke to a couple and they said, our favorite show was Finding Nemo, and that's what we're most upset about.
It's really special. I mean, that's part of what sets Walt Disney World apart. Its partnership with Actors Equity Association, this union that works with Disney to make sure that everybody is paid a fair wage and that safety standards are not just par but above par. It really draws a person of a certain caliber of talent to want to work at a place like this. So the shows that Disney put on, that they produced, were just world-class entertainment. It's not just something that they put on the byline to get people to come to the parks. You can really stand behind those words. And these are people who have been in Broadway shows and sung, on tours with pop artists. I mean, that we're so lucky here to have easy access to that level, that caliber of entertainment. And it's not shocking at all to hear that it's truly upsetting to walk through the parks and to not be able to go see a Finding Nemo, a Festival of the Lion King, or Beauty and the Beast, or the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, or I could go on and on and on. They are a huge part of what makes the park special, and I'm so sad to see it go.
What shows are you hearing have been affected by these layoffs?
Oh, most of the shows. I would be wrong to say any sort of definitive list, but it's a much shorter list to count the shows that I know haven't been affected, and those are the ones that are currently operational at this time.
AEA said basically we did the math, 92% of its members are affected. So you can determine those are iconic shows. You just mentioned some, for sure, Beauty and the Beast, Finding Nemo, Festival of Lion King.
Yeah, and I couldn't say with any certainty, but those are all shows that I know for a fact many cast members have received emails detailing their notice of separation.
That is what separates Disney from other theme parks. What do you think this is going to be for the guest experience?
Well, I think for the guest who's never been to Walt Disney World, they may not notice a difference initially. Disney is very good at what it does, and they are at their core an entertainment company, even if that entertainment isn't necessarily a show. But for people who have ever visited Disney, ever in their life, it will just be like something missing that you can't put your finger on until you suddenly realize, oh, I used to be able to go and see Beauty and the Beast there, or oh, there used to be a show on the castle stage, right, with all these amazing dancers. Where did that go? I think it's going to be one of those things that, it's not perceptible until it is, until suddenly you realize, wow, there is an entire limb missing from the body of this entertainment experience.
And so had Disney been paying you through this, or were you just on furlough hoping to come back?
I was on furlough, just like the majority of the Walt Disney World Entertainment cast members.
And then this email, what made it different? It basically said it's basically indefinite at this point, or?
Well, this email took it from a furlough status where the company is still, they're still providing our, medical benefits and all of those things. It's saying we are officially taking you from a furlough status to you're being laid off. You will be separated from the company as of this date. So that I think was a very final, very large difference. With the furlough, there was that little nugget of hope, and with this, it's so much more final.
And so, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the one thing, the silver lining, I suppose, for those that are still choosing to find, to look for the bright side, to look for that silver lining, is that Disney didn't close any of the shows necessarily. So if there comes a time where they look at the larger picture and they have figured out a way to do it safely, that they may still attempt to reopen these shows. And if that happens at that time, many of these cast members who were laid off may have the opportunity to go back to that show. It's just a much more uncertain game now. And we've already been waiting, with bated breath for so long. There reaches a ceiling, right? You run out of your patience. There are so many things that play into that, whether it's, your finances or your mental stability or any number of things. But there is definitely, an end point where you got to figure out what happens next. And I think that this was the final nail in many people's coffin.
Wow, you answered my question about whether or not could these shows come back. So what does that mean is next for you?
For me, I teach voice. I've been teaching voice via Zoom. You learn and you adapt how to do new things. And entertainment people are creative people. So there's not just one thing that they do well. They do many things well. And during this time, I have seen just a surge of people's what I would call their side hustle, transitioning into becoming potentially their main hustle. There's a Facebook group, Ear for Each Other, where many furloughed and laid off cast members have been promoting their side hustles, and everybody sort of builds each other up and says, hey, look at this amazing thing that my friend does. And everything, the world spins madly on, and we have to find a way to continue to walk through it or be spun off of it, so everything keeps moving forward. Like for myself, I'm just going to continue to throw myself into the creative side of things and continue to work on my music directing. I'm also a music director here in town. So for other local theater offerings that are working hard to come back, working in those areas, there's no replacing the opportunity that Disney provided for that many people. It's just not realistic.
Especially in Orlando, like those jobs are not here like they used to be, like in the 90s. So, Well, I'll tell you what, Bert, if I were taking voice lessons, I would want to do it from the original Crush. So if you want, send me your personal, whatever you want to get new students, because I will put that on our Clicko article to help you out through here. And we will advertise your little side hustle just to, because you've been so generous, and I'm sure people would love to help you out. In the meantime, do you mind texting me any pictures of you and Finding Nemo, just so I could tell your story? And you are amazing. So hang in there. I'm going to save your number for real as we move forward, because maybe you and Logan can continue to connect me with folks. And, I'd like to see if we know cast members doing haunted houses, like stories like that, to get these folks jobs and keep them working. I would love to be a resource with you guys. So
absolutely.
Okay, so text me some pictures and we will get this on at 4:00. So thank you so much, Bert.
You're welcome so much.
I wish you the best of luck. And if you want to forward me the email you got too, that would be great. You can cut out your name or whatever. But yeah, so any pictures and the email, and that would be wonderful.
All right.
Okay, see you later. Have a good day. I feel
Thank you so much.
to a superstar. Okay, see you later.
See ya. Bye-bye.